In the early 1400s, a new parlor game was taking the Great Britain region by storm. A game that required skill, little athletic ability, and an aptitude for heavy drinking. A combination so palatable that by the mid 1400s it had reached the very corners of the English Empire. That game, of course, was Shuffleboard. Invented by nobles, the game originated when, after dinner parties, the servants would clear the historically long tables so that patrons of these parties could slide groats, or pennies, as far down to the opposite end of the table without them falling off.
Oh my goodness. Hold it, stick!
Stick!
Ah!
The game was also referred to as shovel penny, for obvious reasons. The game's popularity quickly spread to pubs and mess halls where drinking and tables were widely available. The game actually became so popular that King Henry VIII had to ban it because his soldiers spent more time playing it than doing their soldierly duties, like dying in battle. It wouldn't be for another couple hundred years that the game Risk was invented, which could have circumvented the whole situation. Nonetheless, soldiers and common folk alike decided to honor King George's ban of the game by continuing to play it all the time. As the game's popularity grew, modifications to the gameplay were introduced as well. Notably, the inclusion of specified scoring areas, increasing the difficulty of the gameplay as well as the skill required to play it. Many different versions of the game, and the boards used to play it, began to evolve from these changes as well, including the popular version called Shufflepenny, which is played on a board about 18 inches long and is still very popular in English pubs today. Eventually crossing to the other side of the Atlantic, Shufflepenny traveled with the likes of explorers, immigrants, and smallpox. This was actually much later than smallpox, but I grew too attached to the joke to cut it. Nonetheless, during the long journey, travelers avoided boredom by adapting the game to better suit their temporary environment. Instead of sliding currency down a table, patrons used long sticks to shove bigger wooden discs across the deck with the goal of landing the discs in crudely drawn scoring areas, changing people's reference to the game of Shuffleboard to Shuffleboard, or as it's currently known today as Shuffleboard. Specifically, this form of shuffleboard became known as floor shuffleboard, or deck shuffleboard, or as it's known now in the community as just shuffleboard. Versions of the original game were still honored, but unveiled with bigger, longer tables with specialized pucks. This is the version of American tabletop shuffleboard that is still popular in bars today. However, some people still became quite fond of the deck shuffleboard variation of the game and began building their own courts to make the sport more readily accessible. In fact, in 1913, a hotel in New Smyrna Beach was the first to install their own courts with the hopes of attracting tourists during the winter months. In the early 1920s, full shuffleboard clubs began to emerge. Notably, the Lake Wales Shuffleboard Club in 1920 and the St. Petersburg Shuffleboard Club in 1924. Hashtag 100 years ago. While the sport began to expand, courts from club to club varied in size and scoring configurations. It wasn't until 1928 the Florida Shuffleboard Association was formed and standardized all the sizes of the courts as well as the rules of play. The decision was made to adapt to the St. Pete model, with courts running 52 feet in length and 6 feet in width. With the expansion of these club meccas came a burst of popularity, specifically in the 1940s and 1950s, as Florida towns began to market themselves as ideal vacation destinations to people who lived in places like not Florida. However, in the 1970s and 1980s, the popularity of the sport began to decline. The St. Petersburg Club reportedly dropped from its peak of around 5,000 members in the 40s to just under 100 members in the 1980s. Nevertheless, the sport has persisted and begun to see another surge in the last 10 years, prompting national and international tournaments and excitement from players and fans. For more on the future of the sport of shuffleboard, feel free to visit the website www.google.com. Till then, feel free to go and shove a penny.
Hi, welcome to day 3 of the ISA World Shuffleboard Championship in beautiful downtown St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm Christine Page, Executive Director of the St. Petersburg Shuffleboard Club.
And I'm Stephanie Swain, President of the club. So I would just want to say how great Michael Dritto's video that he put together on the history of shuffleboard was.
Yeah, it was great. It was informative. It was funny. It was almost factual.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't blame him. It's hard sometimes to keep your shuffleboard facts straight.
There's not a lot about 14th century shuffleboard online, so I actually learned a lot.
Yeah, same. So here, I know we just learned a little bit about the history of shuffleboard in general, but I was hoping I might be able to tell you a little bit about the history of shuffleboard at this club.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So in 1923, Phineas T. Ives moved from the east coast of Florida to St. Petersburg, and he asked the city of St. Pete to build 2 courts next to Mirror Lake, which is actually right outside of our window here. The city agreed, and in January 1924, the Mirror Lake Shuffleboard Club was founded. So that is our whole 100 years centennial.
We're very excited
for
about
the club. And I don't know if he quite knew what an impact that just asking that question would make on the sport of shuffleboard.
Right.
So do you mind if I continue to talk and tell you more about that?
Please do.
All right. So just like Phineas had moved to St. Pete and asked that courts be built here, that was happening all over the state. So up and down the coasts, throughout the center of the state, people were creating and forming these new shuffleboard clubs. And when they did that, usually they had learned the rules from somebody. And I think of it as sort of like a game of telephone, right? Like I tell you that you can score a 10, an 8, a 7. You might go back and be like, I think it's a 9, an 8, and a 6. And things were just getting a little bit varied across the clubs. Right. So at some point, they decided to all get together and make official rules.
Right. Because they're becoming serious about shuffleboard and they want to play each other, and they can't.
Right. Can you imagine going somewhere and they're playing a different game than than you're used to playing? I would get so angry.
Right.
I'd be like, but that's not right. Anyway, so they came here. They decided to come here because at that point we were still one of the largest shuffleboard clubs in the state, and they sat down and they talked about all the different variations that they were noticing, and they decided to go with the St. Pete rules.
And I love that. Michael mentioned St. Pete rules, and I've never actually heard that. And I'm going to use that from now on.
I mean, because St. Pete rules. So.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. So at that meeting, they decided to create a new association, the Florida Shuffleboard Association. Yes. So that's kind of like historical thing number 1 that happened at our club for the sport of shuffleboard. Right. And then you were telling me at that meeting something else happened?
The next day, the first ever Florida State tournament, which we're going to assume the first state tournament ever.
Yeah, I think it's a fair assumption.
Yeah, fair. That happened the next day.
That's so cool.
So that's historical thing number 2.
Well, let's call it 3 because the official rules are written. So FSA, rules, and the first FSA tournament.
Yes.
All right. And then, so a few years later, people all over the state clearly were playing shuffleboard, but most of those people were snowbirds. They were wintering in Florida, and then they were going back up north. And when they went home for the summer, they wanted to keep playing shuffleboard, as shuffleboard players do. Right. And the same thing started happening. There were different rules in different states or different clubs. So in 1931, they met again here at the St. Pete Club and formed the National Shuffleboard Association. Yes. Yeah, now we call that the U.S. National Shuffleboard Association, but at the time it was just the National Shuffleboard Association.
Yeah.
So now we're on cool thing number 4.
For 4.
All right, rules, FSA, first FSA tournament, National Shuffleboard Association.
Can I add number 5?
Yeah.
The first ever national tournament was a month later after they formed the National Association in 1931. So that's 5.
All right, St. Pete, way to go. St. Pete rules.
St. Pete rules.
Yep. And then in 1979, there were some people that got together, representatives from the U.S., Canada, and Japan. Sam Allen, who we both knew, and unfortunately is no longer with us. He was an integral part of that. Yes. And you've been watching his son Jim all week long do commentary on the games. They got together and they formed the International Shuffleboard Association, which is why we're here this week.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Oh, so what? That was six cool things.
That was 6 cool things.
At least 6 cool things have happened here. I would imagine 100 times.
I feel like
has
many
happened.
more cool things have happened. We just don't have time to list them all.
Correct. But I do. Speaking of these associations that were formed, I really want to thank the U.S. National Shuffleboard Association because they donated. Well, they bought advertising space in this broadcast specifically so that we could broadcast the games throughout the week, which was just so cool because we've seen a huge growth in shuffleboard, especially in the United States, mostly because of our club. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about them because one of the really neat things that they do is they host tournaments around the country all year long.
Right.
And you're a frequent national tournament
I go to a few every year. In July, I go to Lakeside, Ohio for a singles tournament, but for their tournaments in July last about 2 weeks, and they have singles and some doubles, and they also have the kids, the junior tournament. And
you stayed back a little bit longer this year, right?
I did. I stayed an extra day so I could volunteer to be a scorer because some of the kids can't reach the scoreboard.
Oh my goodness!
And I ended up spending most of that day helping them score, and then also making sure their shoes were tied because they kept coming untied, and it was great. And
those lucky kids.
That Lakeside is the capital of youth shuffleboard.
Yeah. And I think we've got 2 Lakeside kids here.
Yes.
Michael Hirsch and Bob Jones Jr. Both grew up playing shuffleboard at Lakeside.
I think they both started playing when they were about 5.
No wonder they're so good.
Right. And there's a whole group of people at Lakeside that have been playing that young.
We need to watch out for those Lakeside kids coming up.
And then in September, August is Chicago's Any Doubles.
That's a fun tournament.
That's a fun tournament. That's a weekend tournament. Yeah. So that's really popular with the younger people. And then in September, I go to Hendersonville, North Carolina for a week, and I play in the singles tournament at the beginning of the week and then a mixed doubles at the end of the week. And that's nice because it's the mountains and it's nice, a little cooler than it is here.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
nice
that's
break.
always nice.
Yeah.
Christine, I think we have breaking news.
Oh, my goodness.
What could it be?
What is it today?
I don't know.
Well, actually, this is cool. This is very cool. 2 new national tournaments this upcoming season. The first one is in Hemet, California. It's going to be February 26th to February 29th, and it's an any singles. And that's
interesting.
That's really interesting. Yeah, and that means that both men and women are going to play in a singles tournament together, and that
instead of being separated into the men's division and the women's division,
which is usually the case for the national tournaments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've always said it's because the men are afraid of us.
I think so. I think you're right. You're onto something there. And then in Brooklyn at the Royal Palms on June 15th and 16th is the Any Doubles tournament there.
That's a new one.
That's a brand new one. That is also a weekend tournament.
Nice.
So that's good. Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, Trevor, there are people that make everything happen. Can you guys throw up the rest of the schedule so everybody can look at it? All right, let's see what else is on this schedule.
Let's see.
Oh, we've got one.
Oh, that's right. We have one coming up January 27th through the 28th. It is the Sam Allen Memorial National Shuffleboard Tournament.
I love that for him.
I do too.
He wasn't a shuffleboard player.
He was not, but he was very well respected among shuffleboard players and was just so kind and so funny. And I'm very glad that the National Association let us name this tournament after him.
Yeah.
So,
I have a funny story about Sam. Can I share it?
Yes.
So at one point, Sam was talking to my husband, Josh, and he told him that when he did play shuffleboard, he would never beat his customers. You can't beat your customers, he said. And so now Josh and I use that whenever we lose, as an excuse as to why we didn't win.
It's just good business sense.
That's right.
Yeah. So that is actually that's also a weekend tournament.
Oh, great! And I'm really excited that we're having more weekend tournaments because it lets people that work go and attend. And I actually like to travel to some of these weekend tournaments and make a vacation out of it.
I do too. That's what I use my vacation time for in July and September, is going to play tournaments.
Yeah, I'm excited about Brooklyn. But for anybody that does want to play in one of these tournaments, I don't think there's any qualifications, right? Like you don't have to win a certain number of games at a club in order to go play.
Right. Right. I think the only qualification is you have to be a member of a club that is part of a state association that's part of a national association.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then I know for Chicago, in our tournament at least, there's pre-registration involved.
Yes. Some of these tournaments, especially the weekend ones, you have to make sure that they get done in a weekend. So you want a certain number of people. And so the SAM, we call it the SAM, Chicago, and I'm assuming Brooklyn is going to have pre-registration.
I would assume so, yeah.
And I'm assuming they're going to sell out like they did last year and the year before.
And so for anybody wondering how you would know when registration starts, I would go to the USNSA website or follow them on Facebook and just kind of keep an eye out for it. Pull up the schedule and print it out just so you have a reminder of when things might be coming open for registration.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Now, for anybody that is going to one of these tournaments, this is a really fantastic way to improve your shuffleboard game. So neither one of us are professional shuffleboard players, as we've mentioned before. But I feel like we get better every time we go to one of these.
Sure, I haven't won one yet, but
You've gotten really close.
But I've learned a lot.
You know how
every time I don't win. No, this is a learning experience.
Well, you know how you can also learn a lot.
I'll
tell you.
Okay.
So our pregame show is sponsored by Royal Palms.
Yes.
And Jonathan Schnapp over there has put together a series of strategy lessons for us. And I think he's got a really good one today.
What is it? Do you know?
Yeah, he's going to talk to us about the importance of hammers and how you can protect yourself when you don't have the hammer. Okay. So let's go to Jonathan then. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. We're continuing to talk about shuffleboard strategy advice, and the next big tip that is important, particularly for new players, is playing differently if you have the hammer versus if your opponent has the hammer. Hammer's the last shot of the frame, and we know, a huge advantage. Huge advantage to go last. Nobody can knock you out if you go last, right? I think of the hammer as worth 3.75 points. The idea being that a good player could probably drop in an 8 or a 7 50% of the time, 7.5 50% of the time, 3.75 points worth of equity to being able to go last. So if I'm just able to go 0-0 on your hammer, it's almost like I've broken serve. It's almost like I've gotten 3.75 points worth of equity. Easier said than done though. How do I do that? How do I stop you from scoring your hammer? Well, the answer is by blocking up the board. So before I said that I could score an 8 or a 7 50% of the time, but not if the board looks like this. All right? If the board's blocked up like that, suddenly you're cutting down on the amount of times that your opponent is going to be able to score that 8 or a 7. So listen, nobody knows where the disc is gonna go. I've been playing shuffleboard for about 12 years now. I don't know where the friggin' thing's gonna go. But I can err on the side of a little bit lighter or a little bit stronger. So if it's my opponent's hammer and they get to go last, what I'm trying to do is I'm shooting just a little bit later. I'm trying to block up the board. I'm trying to make it so it's really difficult for them to shoot that last shot. And if it's my hammer, what I'm trying to do is shoot a little bit harder. Try to keep the board clear, play deeper on the board so that when it comes time to shoot that last shot, I've got a clear path to shoot through. That's the second big piece of shuffleboard strategy advice, which is play differently if you've got the hammer versus if they have the hammer. Being aware of the hammer, going into each frame with a mission. Stay tuned for more shuffleboard strategy advice throughout the week, and good luck to everybody out there on the courts.
Wow. I mean, scoring your hammer is so important. Thank you, Jonathan.
It is. It is important. It is tougher than it sounds, though. It's one thing to say, okay, score your hammer, and it's another thing to do it consistently.
Don't I know that?
Yes, we all do. We all do. It's tough.
Yeah. Actually, I have an unrelated topic I wanted to bring up with you, and I probably should have done it before. But
okay.
Somebody was saying that we might need to increase security at the tournament.
What?
Apparently, people have been stealing other people's hammers. Anyway,
worth the wait.
All right, and on that note, why don't we go down and talk to some of the players for today?
So the first match we're going to see is Missy Keiko versus Colette Carlisle. Missy plays out of the Royal Palms in Brooklyn, and she's one of the founders of the New York Shuffleboard Association.
How nice.
She was also on the team that brought home the gold last year in Canada. And I don't know if you know, you have teams that win medals, but they also keep track of the individual wins and losses. And so they do rank the individual players at the World Team Championships. And she was the top female last year. So she's a good player.
She's so
a good
good.
player. And then Colette Carlisle is from Canada, playing for Canada, and she winters in Yuma, Arizona, but she's based out of Edmonton, Canada.
And this is her first ISA.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's doing very well for her
Okay.
first tournament. Yeah.
Okay. And what about the next match we're going to see?
Well, before we do that, why don't we go down and hear what they have to say
Oh,
as
sure.
they're getting ready for the tournament?
Okay. All right. So let's hear from Missy.
I'm here with Missy Keiko, Royal Palms' own Missy Keiko, who I think I once dubbed the Scorpion. Is that what I call you?
I don't know about the Scorpion, but yeah, sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, she needs a name like the Black Widow from Pool because she's deadly.
I like the Black Widow. We can stick with that.
But you're married to another fantastic shuffleboard player. Maybe you're the Black Bride.
Or maybe because our team name is the Golden Tang, so maybe I'm the Golden Widow.
Oh, perfect. No, let's go with that. We're here with Missy Keiko, the Golden Widow of the Royal Palms. How are you doing, Missy?
I'm doing great. I'm actually undefeated right now in my games, so I just want to keep doing that. But I'm about to play Colette, and I've been watching her games from across the way, and she's a fantastic player. So I know it's going to be a good one.
Now, I know a little bit about your origin story because your husband was an amazing player. You came to watch him, I think, at a doubles tournament, and we needed an extra player, and you stepped in and played, and did you win the whole thing?
So it's slightly tweaked. There was a doubles tournament that I played with a different team member, and we ended up placing second, and Jeff lost early on. But my origin story is Jeff brought me to the Royal Palms, and we were on a date. We had a really nice time, but I told him not to let me win because I was enjoying myself, and I wanted to know when I'd get good at it. And then eventually I beat him, but he had a cocktail or two, so he was like, it doesn't count, but it totally counts.
Oh, yeah, and now, look at you, the Golden Widow. Well, I am so proud of you. I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all the way at the top.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited.
Great luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. And now, Colette.
I am here with Colette Carlisle from Team Canada. How are you feeling, Colette?
Well, of course, I'm nervous.
Yeah, how many ISAs have you played in?
This is my first ISA.
Wow, and what is your record?
I'm 5-2 right now.
Not too shabby. And where do you play the rest of the time?
I play in Alberta, Canada. I play in Edmonton. We have an association there.
And how often are you playing?
I play, up in Canada, I play 3 days a week. And we winter in Yuma, so down there I play every day.
Wow. So you've got a lot of shuffleboard going for you here. How have you found the competition so far?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough for sure. And now I'm in that category where it's going to be even tougher.
Well, we're excited to see you succeed. Good luck out there.
Thank you. I'm excited too.
All right. Thank you.
That's going to be a good game.
It is going to be a good game.
All right, so let me tell you about the men. So at the other end of the court, we have Clayton Taylor, who is out of St. Pete.
Yes.
One of my personal favorites.
Yes.
And also, he's a new dad, so we get really excited.
And he played in his first ISA last year.
Last year, yeah, last minute addition to the U.S. team.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, and then he's going to play Bernard Borges, who's the president of the Brazilian Shuffleboard Association.
And he played here 10 years ago. Well, I think he was the second youngest player 10 years ago, and he's still really young.
He's so good, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both really good. This is going to be a really tough match for both of them. I mean, I wish both of them could win.
Yes.
So, but let's see what they have to say. So, Clayton.
I'm here with Clayton Taylor, who's a hometown boy. You are playing here at St. Pete.
I am.
Are you on a league here?
Yeah, I play Wednesday Night League, and I've been doing that for a few years now.
What's the name of your team?
The Shuffle Underground.
Ooh, I like it. Edgy.
It's subversive.
And I guess you're a pretty great player if you've made it here.
I like to think I'm a good player. I mean, yes. But anything can happen,
And you know these courts. You know these courts, so you're a little more familiar. You have a little bit of an advantage. Who are you playing today?
I'm playing Bernard from Brazil. That's my first match.
It's your first match. It's your first ISA.
It's my second.
Oh, it's your second ISA. Okay, your second ISA. So have you played Bernard before?
I have not. So he is brand new. I don't know what his play is like.
He's good, but apparently you're good too. So it's anybody's game.
That's so true. I mean, that's shuffleboard for you. Anything can happen. So.
Well, we're excited to see what you got. Good luck out there.
Thank you very much.
Okay, great. And let's see what Bernard wants to say.
I'm here with Bernard Borges from Brazil. Hi, Bernard. What number ISA is this for you?
I think this is my 7th.
And what's the farthest you've gone?
The far, which 10 years ago I was in. Oh, you mean the place?
Yeah.
The far? Oh, it was in Europe, in Germany. Yeah, 2010.
Oh no, I mean how far have you placed? And how far you've gone is Germany. That's also a good question that I just asked. And now the question I'm asking is, have you placed?
My English not so good, so yeah. I placed it in this tournament or previous?
Yeah, previous ISAs.
Okay, yeah, 10 years ago it was 2011 in Canada. I was 3rd in the singles, yeah.
3rd in the singles. Okay, and what is your record at this tournament?
I have won 5 matches and 2 losses, yeah.
Okay, so you're going into the next bracket now.
Yeah, I was 2nd in my group, so yeah, still had a chance to be in top 4, don't know.
Yeah, so you have a chance to now take the gold. Do you like your chances?
Yeah, this match I think would be very difficult against my opponent. He's from here, from St. Pete, so he has won all his 7 matches, so it will be a tough game, yeah.
Now, I was at the ISA in Brazil that you hosted a couple of years ago. Did you feel like those courts did you have an advantage there that you don't have here?
Actually, no, because I wasn't the player that event, and we put some rollout courts on gymnasium, on a school gymnasium. So, yeah, we play only on other clubs, so that was not the place that we hosted the tournament,
Got it. So it's anybody's game today. I'm wishing you good luck out there, and we'll see you again.
Thank you so much.
Okay, perfect. Like I said, I don't know who's going to win that one. It's anyone's game, really. But let's go to the courts.
All right. Hey, Shufflers. Welcome back to the 40th Annual ISA World Championships of Shuffleboard. I'm Ashley Albert from the Royal Palms, here with Jim Allen. Hi, Jim.
Hi, guys.
How
Hi,
you
Ashley.
feeling? How you feeling today?
I am at St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yep, it's true.
I'm at the St. Petersburg Shuffleboard Club, who is kicking off their centennial celebration.
100 years.
The weather is
shuffleboard.
absolutely beautiful.
Stunning.
I'm doing good.
All right, nothing to complain about here. Let's see how these players are doing down there. We have switched around now. We are in the brand new bracket. These two players and these two teams are competing for the top slot. Is that true?
They are, and they're competing for what they call the Golden Q. On Friday, the top, the winner of the male division and the winner of the women's division each get a Golden Q, which is quite an honor.
Yeah, it's the coveted Golden Q. Speaking of golden tangs, we have Missy Keiko from Brooklyn here. She's from Brooklyn Royal Palms. She's on a team called the Golden Tangs, and she is such an amazing player. I've been trying to come up with a good, deadly nickname for her, and I think so far we've landed on Golden Widow. The Golden Widow.
And she's playing Colette Carlisle from Canada.
Mm-hmm. This is Colette's first ISA, but I asked her, and she said that she practices maybe 3 times a week. 3 times a week up in Canada and every day in Florida. So she's no slouch. But the Golden Widow is, she's dangerous. And
well,
it's.
This is the first frame. Missy Keiko has the hammer. Colette's looking at her options. She can either block the board here or she might try to score and get behind that black disc and use it as a high.
Just a quick correction. Colette plays in Arizona, not Florida. Shout out to all those Arizonian shuffleboard players. Okay, interesting. Is that good? Yeah,
It's
that's
a
good 10
high 10.
on Missy's hammer.
On Missy's hammer. Missy definitely wants to clear that, but she wants to hit it on the left side
And try to bounce,
and
knock
try
off
to keep her own in there. Yes.
The reverse double stuff.
Let's see if she does it.
Up, 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 up.
And we've watched this court all week, actually, and the court drifts away from the clubhouse to Missy's right.
Yeah.
And I think the drift got her there a little bit, where she wanted to hit the left of the disc. The drift caused her to hit the right side.
Now, she's used to playing on the New York court. She's used to playing on the New York courts, and those courts require a harder touch. But she's undefeated here in St. Pete, and she's playing in her second ISA.
Interesting you mentioned that, because Colette, playing out of the Edmonton and Yuma, Arizona, plays on much faster courts.
Right, they're the diamond finish courts. They're much smoother.
Or the
faster.
rollout courts.
Also very slick.
Yes.
And with beads, we don't play with beads at the Royal Palms.
They would play with beads on the rollout courts for
And
sure.
beads-
And on Yuma.
Beads are sort of a silicone covered bead. Are they? What's the inside made of? Is it glass? Is it plastic?
You have two types. You have the glass bead, and then you also use on a rollout court, you use a plastic bead because it's too abrasive.
Oh, I see.
On the concrete courts, the glass is better.
And I mean, it makes a gorgeous sound. And we've talked about this a little bit. They sprinkle the beads on before play, and so the drift is different every time.
Here we've got Clayton Taylor from St. Pete, and
Yeah.
he's going to be aggressive and try to use that wall that's built up there.
Oh.
And he's a little too aggressive and hits the line.
Almost put himself in the kitchen there. He's been playing here in St. Pete for 4 years, and he met his wife Liz because she was on a different shuffleboard team with his sister, which is adorable. Oh,
And look at the shot by Bernard.
beautiful shot by Bernard.
He's taking advantage of that first high. That's a bold, aggressive shot, especially with him having the hammer.
And this is Bernard Borges. I said, I'm looking for nicknames this time. We were going to call him Gorgeous Borges. And he hosted the ISA tournament in Brazil a few years ago.
Beautiful
Nice
shot by Clayton.
Yeah, really nice.
Bernard will probably just score on the other side.
Bernard's played in 7 ISA tournaments, came in 3rd, I think, in his first tournament. I could be wrong on that.
Bernard's 33 years old. Been playing shuffleboard since he was 14.
Wow. Okay, so 1 point ahead for Clayton there. And, off to just a strong start either way. All right, while we're taking a break here, let's do some shout outs. I'm going to start with George E. Brown, who is from the Royal Palms, just the nicest guy. He says, shout out to my lovely wife, Lauren, and thank you to my friends and family for all of their support. George and Lauren, I got to know when I was moving. They came to my moving sale and bought some stuff for their vacation house. And when I tell you that they are amazingly delightful, I mean, I was so sad that I was just getting to know them as I left because they're great.
Is it true that this is George's first ISA event?
I think it is. He's come, we bring a big group down from the Royal Palms from both New York and Chicago to play in a tournament in St. Pete in the spring, and I believe he's come to that a couple of times, but this is his first ISA.
Anybody who attends their first or plays in their first ISA, they get a pin on opening ceremony day. And you always treasure that first ISA pin.
I really don't think I have one. I gotta look at my jewelry box. I don't remember getting one. A long time ago now.
We'll get you one.
I need a new one. I want to do over. Missy's
Board
got a
is
wide
clear.
open board.
Missy and Colleen have been playing a clearing board, clearing game.
Yep, Missy's just putting up a St. Pete for herself there. Paulette knows better than to keep it on the board. She's going to try to clear. Nice
She
clear.
effectively clears it. Different strategies here.
Yeah, what do? Do you
Some
just try to block up?
Some people try for the high 8 or the high 7.
Oh, she just did
Some
not
people
quite make it.
go right down the middle, just trying to take away a little bit of the
Board
of
itself.
yeah.
Just eliminate some options.
Missy came up short, which is not bad.
No, she still blocked up half the board, but looks like Colette can land it if she gets lucky.
I think
Is it on the line? On the line. And again, in shuffleboard, if it's even the tiniest sliver of green, it counts. But if it's on the line, nope.
No good.
Bully for you.
Except for the triangle in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Well, the triangle in the kitchen is actually just a shot, a separator from the two people. You know,
Yes.
keep your discs on either side. But on the other side, it's worth -10 points no matter where you land in that. Oh, that's a nice isosceles. Oh, I don't know what that is.
And once again, since Clayton started the first frame,
Yeah.
Bernard starts the second frame.
Right, because it goes yellow, black, yellow, black. Each player will have an equal number of hammers. As we've said several times this week, the hammer is the most valuable shot of the game because no one's behind you to knock you out. You get to keep whatever score you land, and that's why you gotta land them.
Bernard did not have an effective clear there, which gives Clayton an opportunity not only to score, but to get the happy hour 2 for 1.
And will he?
And he does it.
Does. Now Bernard.
He has to
gotta
be
get
careful.
these out.
We've been watching this court drift right to left. And he gets, that is a true happy hour. He,
Wow.
with one disc, knocks out 2.
Got it. Oh, got it. That's a 2 for 1.
That's a
That's
2
a
for
2
1.
for 1. And
Clayton gets the roll.
Yeah, and wow, just an accidentally gorgeous hide.
Now, do you try to use your
To
black
bump?
disc to knock it, or do you score?
I think you score.
Let's see what Bernard's strategy would be.
Oh, he's gonna try to bump, but he
And
might
the
give
drift,
himself.
the
no.
drift got him.
Yeah.
This could be
And
a
it's
big
still
frame
early
for Clayton.
on. It's still early enough on that you know, you can
Clayton.
afford a couple of mistakes. Clayton's gonna try to take advantage of his hammer and
It's
doesn't.
just hits that 7-8 line.
But he'll be happy with that 7. At least he didn't.
You always
widen
want to
lead,
come
but
away with some points
something.
on your hammer.
Yeah.
So he had the hammer, got 7 points, would have liked 15.
He'll be happy with 7 today. Some more shout outs. You want to do a shout out, Jim?
Love to do a shout out.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Why- There's a producer shout out I see right here in front of me from Beachside Social.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful Virginia Beach. They have a team up there called Shuffle Me Timbers.
Good name.
The proud tag they have, drunkest team in the league every season.
You got to be good at something.
Consistency is one of the traits of shuffleboard.
It's true, and this team is clearly, they've got it down. Undefeated.
And we've been very impressed that they actually rank the teams and they keep those records
It is.
to
That's,
know
that's dedication
the
to the sport, really.
annual victory. Yes.
Okay.
Colleen is putting up a block and Missy just goes right for it. Missy tried to roll that over but didn't roll it over enough. Colleen has 2 choices now. She could take this hide away, just remove the block,
Or she could take a Tampa.
or she could try to get behind it.
Yeah. What do you think she's going to do?
The
Looks
fact
like
that
she's
she's
gonna
shooting
take it
from
out,
the
yeah.
3 position, I think she's going to,
Try to just,
she's just trying to block the board a little bit.
huh. Yeah.
But by clipping that disc, she
Opened it
made
up.
it better for Missy.
Yeah.
Missy's
That
going to
was-
try to thread that needle.
By the way, Missy already has 2 wins in her group, which means that if she wins this, it will definitely push her up because the top 2 in the women's groups in each group move up. So if she wins this one, then she's playing for, really the top spots, the Golden Widow.
And Colette, I understand, has 1 win already, so she's not out of it.
Oh, well, that didn't help. And Missy has a shot to just get
Open
a quick,
board.
quick 8 points on your hammer. Why wouldn't you? She get there.
Looks like a good 8.
Good 8.
That's what Missy has to do, and that is her game.
Yeah. She's
Missy.
just smooth. She's always, I've never seen her rattled about anything.
Nope.
She's a really good-natured, and her husband, Jeff, also an incredible player. Some have said that the two of them are currently the strongest players in the new shuffleboard generation. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that said before.
Well, to quote Bum Phillips, I don't know if they're in a class by themselves, but it wouldn't take long to call roll.
In fact, at the Royal Palms, we have a saying called the Jeff treatment, where we say you got to give everyone the Jeff treatment, not just Jeff. Because everybody's, we love Jeff. We're nice to Jeff. Got to be nice to everybody. Give everybody the Jeff treatment.
Now, Clayton, I noticed, is putting up his St. Pete closer and closer to the point. He's almost baiting Bernard to try to go around it. Now, Bernard is not taking the bait.
No, he's just going to stick with his game. Tipped it right out, nice clear. Wide open board, he's going to just try to cut it down if he can. Does he get to the line? He does. And this is his home court, so he knows these
He knows the
courts.
speed. I'm sure he's played on court 3 many times.
Used to these conditions. We talked a little bit about the wind earlier and the beads. It really does make a difference. Bernard
Bernard made a
his
good
hammer.
adjustment. Last time
Beautiful
he
8.
was too strong and hit that 7-8.
He got it this
He
time.
made a better adjustment, came
Yeah.
up with a positive 8 score.
Okay, right in it. More shout outs. Okay, this is a cute one. Abby and Al Manville, father and daughter players out of the Royal Palms. They want to wish the best of luck to all the competitors. We'll be cheering on all our friends from afar as they hit their hammers and kitchen all of their opponents. That's positive thinking. I like that. Al and Abby, pretty cute.
It's wishful thinking. Has anybody hit all their hammers?
No, but that should be like a Cal Ripken kind of a thing where they that's what we should be keeping track of. The drunkest teams and the hammeriest people.
Now this head match has been interesting because it's pretty much a clear score game.
Yep.
There have been some discussions recently about changing one rule in shuffleboard. And that is the very first disc cannot be touched if it's hitting or touching any part of the triangle. But if it's outside of it,
Okay.
I said that.
Yeah, I'm
I said that
confused.
backwards.
Say it
If it's touching the triangle,
You can get to it.
you can get to it.
But you have
if
to
it's
leave a
outside,
pilot.
But right, anything that does not touch does not touch the triangle, cannot be
Can't.
cleared.
And why is that rule being considered?
Trying to open the scoring more so it's not so much of a clear
Got it.
score the hammer game.
But
Makes you play the board.
I guess so, except that takes away, is it the first disc from both players, but it takes away the pilot
Just the
opportunity.
first disc.
Got it. I don't know. I feel like, I guess you can't, you can't touch the ones that aren't in the triangle, so you can leave the pilot.
If you score or you touch or you
Then-
touch the triangle,
Then it's
that's
fair-
open fair game.
Got it. But if it's a pilot, it's
But-
got to stay.
Got to stay.
Ooh,
And there's a penalty if you do touch it.
got it.
That disc gets removed. Your disc gets off the board, and the disc gets put back where it was in its place. So now your opponent can use that as a hide.
So it's right. So it's kind of making those pilots even more important. And for those of you just tuning in, a pilot is usually the first disc a good player sends out, either a St. Pete, which is on the opposite side of the triangle, or a Tampa on their side. And on their next shot, if that pilot is still there, they'll use it to hide behind.
Look at Colette with her hammer. The board
Wow,
block
just
drops
landed
the
a 10.
dime.
Oof, we call that dropping a cherry.
Dropping a cherry.
Cherry
That's
on top.
right on top of it. 10 points, and that's
Wow,
that's somebody
beautiful.
who's already picked up the speed
Yep.
and the drift and has that nice touch.
Bernard coming out, not quite getting the hang of the drift just yet.
With the discussion going on of the rule changes, that disc Clayton couldn't do
knock
what he
it
did.
out. I see.
And that's
That
what
would
they're
have to
trying.
stay.
He would have had to play the board.
And so.
Everything else is the same.
But it just eliminates it, because otherwise I guess it becomes that those first two discs become useless discs anyway. It's like, put it up, clear it out, you might as well not even shoot them. I could see why that rule would be in effect.
So these two players are in the 4th frame. They will play 16 frames, 8 on each color.
Yep. And as we've seen all week, this court is a black court. The black discs are really have an advantage. They've got a drift that's easier to figure out and utilize. But you have had to watch this broadcast to know that.
Clayton has an open board on the right-hand side. Let's see if he picks up enough on the drift, though. And he
I mean, he knows these courts, and that
he played it
just
to
hit
perfection.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of hometown advantage right there, because he knows what this court does, and he took advantage of it in a way that Bernard, even on the black side, was not able to do. Speaking of watching this broadcast, last night we had the most incredible party at the club. This, by the way, St. Pete Shuffleboard Club, we've talked about them. We are here. It's their 100-year anniversary. An amazing, majestic, wonderful place. The inspiration for the Royal Palms, and many a player.
We've talked a lot about them, but I don't think we could overemphasize the importance of the club to the community, to the shuffleboard world, the history of the sport.
It's the world's largest shuffleboard club.
It's the world's oldest shuffleboard
and it's
club.
the world's oldest too. And if you're in the area on a Friday night, you can come. Anyone can come for $10. You can come and play shuffleboard. They'll teach you how. They'll share some beer with you. It's just a great time. And for $50, you can become a member and support the club and join. And if you have a family, it's $90.
Oh, is that what it is?
90 for a family, 50 for just a single shuffleboard player. Worth it, I think.
But that's for an annual. You can come
anytime
anytime you want.
Anytime you want.
Wow.
And it's really like it's a real club. They have an equipment shed. You get your club, you get your tangs and biscuits, and you get out there and play.
So they would even supply some equipment for you.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
You can go out there and become a good shuffleboard player for $50 and be at the World Championships by next year, maybe.
Once again, Missy is playing for her hammer. She clears that, and look at all her discs.
Just
in the
littering
same,
the ground.
She knows exactly where it's going.
Yeah. Colette's got an open board.
She's trying for that high 8. She wants to put that high 8.
Goes a little bit low. Still high enough that I don't know
if there's 6 inches.
Then she can stick and score.
Because the disc is 6 inches in diameter, she can stick and score. And Glenn Peltier, one of the all-time greats, told me he had a 5.5 rule because he says normally a disc will hit and jump a little bit.
Wow.
She
Here
did
you go.
exactly what she had to do.
Exactly what she's about to do. What wanted to do. She's just an impressive player.
That's exactly why a lot of people considered her one of the favorites.
Yeah.
Before the tournament.
Yeah. And, she didn't play for a long time. Jeff took her on a date to the Royal Palms, and she was just Jeff's girlfriend. And then we needed an extra player for a doubles match, and she played with a different team member of the Golden Biscuits. Nope, Golden Tanks. And they came in second place.
Clayton starts off the 5th frame with a hide. He has a 22-16 advantage right now. Bernard's down 1 disc. Early in the match.
Yeah, not a comfortable lead this early in the match. Just they're keeping pace.
Now Clayton, I've noticed many times when he clears, he does try to roll his. A lot of people try to get theirs off the board.
He tries to work with it.
He tries to work with it and use it for a high.
And I thought it was Kathy Brennan who did that, but maybe it was Landy Atkins. There was somebody I used to play.
Kathy has tried it, and I think sometimes it helped, but there were times to it we noticed that it hurt her.
Yeah, but I remember just playing and putting up St. Pete after St. Pete, and whoever it was one of those two, they would hit it and make it a Tampa for themselves every
Bernard
time.
is going to be aggressive. He wants to try
He's going for it.
He's going to go down the alley.
Suicide alley here.
But the drift got
him.
him.
Drift got him.
The drift got him.
Oh, man. Is that a good 10? No. All right. Lucky there, but.
Interesting for Clayton because that's a better hide for Bernard.
Ah, right. So does he just try to bump it into something a little safer? Block it? Bump it?
He's going to try to tap it into a 7 or 8.
And that's what he does with a beautiful block.
Beautiful block.
I think Bernard can see it, but that was a nice shot.
Bernard, if he has picked up the drift enough yet, he'll have to start this to the right of that disc.
Let's see if he does it. Because he plays on poly court, so he knows about drift.
Actually, they have all rollout.
Oh, rollout. That's what I meant. Rollout courts, which are especially drifty, right? Oh.
Look.
Oh.
He played it out, but too much. Played it out, but he played too much.
Just one. He didn't put himself in the kitchen there. Thank goodness.
No, but he did lose 7 points on his hammer.
Which, as we've said many times, you got to score that hammer. When people, we don't film the warm-ups. You haven't seen any of the warm-ups here, but a lot of it is just trying to get that muscle memory of knowing what you're going to do to be able to land that hammer when the time comes.
So we've got Missy going out first. We're now in the 6th frame.
She's still playing a sort of classic game, putting out her St. Pete. That's actually a perfectly placed St. Pete, would you say?
Missy plays that game as good as anybody.
Colette's not messing around, knocking it off, making her do it over and over again, which she
doesn't
will.
get rattled. She's going to play her game regardless. Yep.
And we talked about that, not letting the other person bully you into playing their game, bait you into coming out onto the court. If you've got a plan, play your game.
It's a little deeper than she would like, but I think Colette will still take it off the board.
Yeah, I think Colette's playing it safe. I don't know if she knows what a ferocious competitor the Golden Widow is, but she's not taking her chances.
Missy made a little adjustment there. Do you see that?
I did, yeah.
She
said maybe I'll take a Tampa, or she's like, oh, maybe I'll. That's interesting.
And more players are doing this with their 3rd shot. And what they're doing is they're trying to set the speed up for the high 8. So that her next shot, her 4th shot, is going to be, she's going to try for the high 8. So what she's doing is she's
testing.
Trying to groove that and see what speed do I need, what the drift is.
Interesting.
And you do that with your 3rd shot.
Okay, that's. Missy was also on the winning gold team last year, led by the adorable Doris Hankey, and with 3 Royal Palms newbies and Doris Hankey, and they won the gold last year in the World Championships as a team. So usually it alternates. Group play and team play, country versus country.
What a great accomplishment.
What? Oh, to get a goal?
That.
I know. My gosh. Amazing.
Colette comes up with a good hammer with her own 8.
I think I have a silver, a bronze. I got a medal from the Buttercups.
I think you have.
Canada.
Yeah,
High River.
I remember that. High River.
Yeah.
Interesting course. They had 12 of the blue. Very, very fast.
Yes, very fast.
We call them the lightning court, and 12 of the green. They play more like.
I think I just really like a fast court, and I also threw my back out, so I was playing very gingerly.
A fast court would
worked
help.
out. Yeah. Okay.
Bernard has switched tactics here.
He's getting out on the board. He's trying to do just what we were saying before. trying to bait Clayton into switching over to his version of the game.
And it also, I think, when the other person has a good rhythm of clearing, you take them out of that rhythm.
Yeah, right. You say, okay, I'm gonna.
Now there's a mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a mistake because he left his disc
Open for a kitchen.
and gave Bernard a good 7.
Yeah. That's
Bernard,
a roughie.
look
And
how he
take it.
picked up that drift though.
Beautiful, right.
Threw that out about
Figured it out.
5 inches to the right. It came right back in.
Yeah.
He's got, even though Clayton,
He's going to try to take both out. Oh, doesn't do it. Does he give himself? Oh, they're going to check.
even though Clayton has the hammer on this frame, Bernard
is dominating.
has control of the board right now.
Right. He set it up. He might. Oh. Wow. That was almost a very well hidden kitchen. That would have been a rough go of it. Now he's just going to not messing around. I'm clearing you out. I'm not playing your game anymore. Get out of here.
Interesting that
Scram.
he's shooting this from the 4 position.
That Bernard is he trying to, what's he trying to do there? Bump? Block? I don't know what that was.
He's keeping it away from the board so Clayton cannot catch it.
I see, but leaves it wide open for him to drop a hammer if he's got it in him, and he does.
We've seen Clayton make that 8 consistent.
Over and over. Well, it's his, I mean, he's here every week playing with the league.
And I think Bernard's saying, I'll give you the 8, but you're not going to kitchen me and get the 8.
Right.
This early in the match. I'm going to hang around and stay with
You got some choices, but not too many choices.
Now, if he hits that again, I think Bernard will have to say, you know what? I'm not going to give you that again.
Right. I'm not going to give you a clear board to land on. I'll give a couple more shout outs here. How about to Callie Springer and her husband Todd Maxwell? They're here in St. Pete. They say, representing 1/3 of Tangy Pineapple Crew on Monday nights at St. Pete Shuffle, Callie Springer and Todd Maxwell want to wish the ISA players at the World Shuffleboard Championship good luck. And Callie is a really, really valuable volunteer here at St. Pete.
Yeah, we've had an opportunity to talk about the volunteers. It's just so critical to an event of this magnitude. And we have seen day after day, starting for 6 o'clock in the morning, ending at 10 o'clock at night, closing. And I understand Callie is at the top of that list.
And it's really a testament not only to the game of shuffleboard and the passion it ignites, but also to the leadership here at the St. Pete Shuffleboard Club. Stephanie Swain, president, and Christine Page, the head honcho.
I've seen Amy Maxwell, the club manager, all over the place.
Oh my gosh, she has been running around. Yeah,
always with a smile.
Exactly, like it's fun. It's not picking up garbage at the beach, that's for sure. Okay, Missy's not going to let that 10 stand.
Missy's trying to kitchen.
Yep, didn't get there.
Colette has been so defensive. Colette only has a 2-point lead, but we're still early in this match. She's not going to let her bump that one, so she says, I'm just going to clear it.
Just get it out of the way. Again, though, giving Missy a chance to...
Maybe you make the hammer, maybe you don't. It's not a given.
Not a given, but she's just so consistent. Unflappable.
The drift is bringing it toward that line, though. But she still gets it.
She still gets it.
It's a good 8 by Missy.
And it puts her ahead by 7.
Keiko.
Is that true? Nope, 6. Puts her ahead. That much I know. And we're back to Bernard and Clayton there. Okay, we've just gotten the scores, which we didn't have before. It's Clayton 37, Bernard 16 at the moment, Colette 8, and now Missy has 24.
Now Bernard, if you remember last time he tried to do that same shot, he clipped the yellow, didn't read the drift.
This time he made the adjustment.
He said, I need to make that adjustment.
Yep. And
What a double.
Wow.
Wow.
Beautiful shot.
Nice little reverse there by Clayton.
But Bernard can get it.
When you go down Suicide Alley, it's one of the most dangerous shots in
especially with
shuffleboard.
this drift. He could knock himself in. He doesn't. He takes it and really is able to.
And he
use
got a
that
little
hide.
bit of a roll to
Yeah,
get behind
a
that
little bit.
hide even better. I think Clayton can see it.
I think Clayton's going to just knock out the first one.
Up. He took out the hostage.
Yeah, just saying. And now Bernard's going to be forced to block again. Oh, he's going to shoot on the other side and make him decide
And
what he
that's
wants
a good
to do.
play because now Clayton has only one option.
Right.
Get one of those two discs.
And he's going for the 8, but that's a up. Oh. Okay.
And Bernard, knowing that he has the hammer,
Yep.
now he's going down to check. He wants to see if there's 6 inches there.
And I don't
If
know that
there is,
there
he'll have a
is.
softer touch.
Right.
If there isn't, then he can put more pace on it.
And so, right, that was the right move by Clayton, taking that disc because he knew it would leave him with a high
That's
8.
correct.
As opposed to the other disc,
That's where
which
you-
maybe might try to kitchen, maybe have a shot, but it would be unlikely and leave
That's
Bernard
where
a
players
clear
of this
shot.
caliber are thinking
Yeah.
2 discs ahead.
So smart. Okay, Bernard thinks he can get in there. He's going to tap it. Try to
But he
get him
did
in the
kitchen
kitchen.
it. I think he did. No, just they're calling that on the line.
Just missed it. But boy, that would have been a beaut.
Beautiful shot. But Bernard still gets 7
Still
on
gets
his
a
hammer.
7, and that's what's important right now. It's a
You're
game of
never
inches.
disappointed if you score on your hammer.
Right. That's what they say. And I believe them. Okay, let's give a
Who
shout
are
out.
they?
I think it might be you. Is it
think
you?
it's you.
It's us. Speaking of which, you know, we're trying to come up with these new shot names. And Stephanie Swain from St. Pete Club said hers is grandstanding that she came up with, which is like Monday morning quarterbacking.
Well, that's exactly
And
what
that's what
we're
we're doing. Right. We talked about this. I am having an impeccable tournament.
I have not seen you miss a shot.
Oh, I am great at this game.
Okay, now this is they've been playing a clear game. This rolled and stayed on the court. Missy's, if you notice, she's allowed to go on her opponent's side to check.
Just to take a look, see what
She's
the angle
seeing,
is.
can I get behind that
Yep.
rather than clear it?
Right.
Can I actually use that as a hide?
And she's not looking at so much where she's going. She's looking at what Colette's going to see. You know, she's going to
That's
Colette's side
correct.
to see what Colette's vantage point is going to be when she makes this move and where she has to land it to hide. She doesn't quite get there. And had it been a little harder, it still would have been open. It would have been a little too wide.
She probably wanted a little softer
Yeah.
into that 8.
Exactly.
Be
She wanted,
protected.
yeah. It wouldn't have worked for her the other way around.
Colette still has the hammer. She drops
That's a good 10.
a 10.
Trying to play the board a little.
Plenty of room for Missy to stick if she chooses that.
Yeah, I think probably not worth sticking here. Would you say better to clear? Oh, she's going for something. Oh,
She did choose to take
to
a softer
stay.
touch.
yeah. It's always so exciting when you get a 10 and then you just, it's gone so fleeting. Oh. Risky. Now, do you think that Missy did that to bait Colette into coming in to kitchen view?
She very well could have. That could have been her mindset.
Like knowing she was going to replace it, knowing it was going to be difficult to not stick. Yeah.
But you know, there's 3 feet between that line and the point.
So it's a long way
So-
to go to get it right.
So exactly, and
Almost.
almost pulled it off.
Almost didn't.
But Missy
wow.
knew that even if Colette stuck, there's still room for her to stick, which
Yeah.
you can see just happened.
Yep. But is that a good 10? I don't know. We're going to find out in a second if Colette goes after it.
Exactly.
Because it's not enough for Colette to stick there.
And Colette
She
has to
doesn't
be
need it.
careful
Yeah, she could nick it. And,
that she
and-
doesn't
oh,
push it
she's
into
going
this yellow
straight.
disc.
She might be going for a kitchen here, too. No score.
And Missy
Effectively stole her hammer.
Missy played some real strategy on that frame
Yeah.
and walked away with a 0-0 score, and that is a win for her.
And that's why these games are so interesting to watch passively, because you really do, when you're grandstanding, you get a chance to see what the right shot is and what true shuffleboard strategy is all about. And you'll walk onto the court a better player, even having never played before, if you're really watching these players and their choices.
Clayton has impressed me with his clearing ability and very rarely makes a mistake by leaving his disc on the court.
High 8 by Bernard. Aiden's just going to clear that. Oh, stuck.
As soon as I say that.
You cursed him.
I cursed Clayton, and this gives Bernard one of the rare opportunities he had to catch
do
him.
Something he's not going to get there. I can't imagine Clayton letting this stay.
I can't either.
But still sticking, giving him a second shot at it.
Let's see if Bernard
Bernard's
can
gonna
dial
try.
it down a little bit. He's been a little strong on some of these.
Yep, and trying to get that rolling kitchen, which is the dining car. Dining car, anybody? Oh, no, gave him a point.
Gave him 7+. We've seen Clayton drop these 8s on the right side.
Yep, let's see if he can do it again.
He's
Still
very-
going to his
He's very comfortable with
Old
that 8.
Faithful. Oh, doesn't work. We gotta stop. We gotta stop talking about Clayton's consistency. We've messed him up here. He's still got that 7, and as we've said, walking away with points and
Points on your hammer,
having your
and you
opponent
have the
have
lead.
none. You're in good shape.
The players now will switch. That's 8 frames. They play 16, of course.
Yep.
They now switch colors.
And
they will get a chance to practice a little bit.
yep.
I understand it's 2 for speed, 4 for the, just the 4? Just 4 on the switch.
Just to get the drift and the speed. But they are switching, as we've said before. This is a black court. It favors the black discs. And both Clayton and Colette have probably been looking forward to getting over to this side to see if they can turn it around with
Clayton
the
has to be
advantage.
feeling really good. It's a rare opportunity that we've seen on this court that
Yeah.
a yellow
It's
on the
coming into
front
the
8
lead.
is coming into the lead.
Yeah.
So he has to be feeling really good about his game. And Bernard has to be thinking, well, if Clayton did it on that color,
I can too.
I can too.
Right. But he probably understood the drift in a way. He got that pretty fast. Doesn't have much to work with on yellow yet.
Right, and we saw that Bernard, in the first 3 or 4 frames, did not catch the drift, but picked up on it.
Right, he didn't catch the drift.
He
didn't
catch
get
the-
my drift. He didn't get the drift. I don't know. Okay, so they're just getting a sense for the speed. Oh, let's do some shout outs. Why don't you do one?
Well, I would do the shout out from the Canadian National Shuffleboard Association. They say good luck to all of our Canadian players from the Canadian National Shuffleboard Association. If you are a Canadian and interested in playing with us at the next ISA or CNSA Interprovincial, visit our website. And it's the
Shufflers.
News.wordpress.com.
That's the most classic of all shuffleboard mail emails. That's like the grandma definitely made that
If you
website.
didn't catch that, I would just Google Canadian National Shuffleboard Association
That's
and come up
true.
with it.
That's true, but I think it's so cute that it's a WordPress.
It is a WordPress.
.com.
And you go there to apply to participate and be part of these great tournaments. Did you know that in Canada,
Hey?
that we have a fridge in the garage to keep our beer warm during the winter?
That is a joke about Canada being cold. It's so cold that you had to put the beer in the refrigerator because it's warmer in the refrigerator. I'm just explaining the joke to myself. That's
Do
all.
you know how they decided to call the country Canada?
I don't, Jim. How?
They
How?
put all the letters in a bucket.
Uh-huh.
They pulled them out. C-A, N-A,
Uh-huh.
D-A,
That's it.
Canada.
That's, I'm going to do that with my first child.
Do you have the drum beat?
Da-dum bunch. By tomorrow. I've ordered it. I don't know if it's going to arrive in time to really give you the sting.
We're here all week. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Yeah, just know that I'm giving you that drum sting in my heart over and over and over again.
Try the roast beef sandwich, by the way.
Okay, they're still warming up over here, getting that drift down, getting a chance to get to know their side of the court a little bit better before they get back out there. We have two pretty commanding leads, I think, right now. I don't know what they are, but I think they're pretty commanding.
And if you're on the tail end of the commanding lead right now,
yeah,
your mindset has got to be, well, my opponent did it by 21 points or whatever the number is.
Yeah.
I can do it by 21 points. So you have to stay by 8 frames is a lot in shuffleboard.
Sure. I mean, at the Royal Palms, we only play 8 frames.
Give you, for instance, Bernard and Clayton at the foot. There is a 21-point difference. Now, if you're Bernard down 21 points, you're thinking, that's only 3 discs.
Right, easy enough.
If I pick up a disc here, pick up a disc on my hammer, get one, maybe steal one of his, boom, I'm in the lead.
Now, Missy, on the other hand, had a real easy time with the black. She was able to really maximize the drift there, and now she's on yellow. It'll be interesting to see if she's able to hold her lead.
Yeah, that's only a, what, a six-point game?
Oh, is it? It's only a 6-point game? Oh, it's a 6-point game. Not hold her lead. Keep going on her lead. I don't know. I don't think that's how you say that.
Yeah, Colette has 24 points.
Okay. All right, we're going back. We're ready to start. Missy first because she's yellow now, going out.
They really played a strong, clear, score your hammer the first frame, the first 8 frames.
Yeah, let's see what Missy does here. She's going to test out the drift. She's going to see if she can make another beautiful St. Pete, little strong.
Little strong, doesn't hurt her.
Colette sticking. I don't think that's what she meant to do.
I think Missy might be thinking about kitchen.
Yeah, didn't get there, but tried. By the way, Missy is also one of the founding members of the New York Shuffleboard Association, also known as NYSA. NYSA.
I think that's nicer.
And they actually have a shout out that they'd like to do here, which is the New York Shuffleboard Association wishes its members participating this week good luck. NYSA welcomes members and donations from around the world as it grows an inclusive community devoted to skill and friendly competition.
And
To help support NYSA's mission, visit newyorkshuffleboard.org. Yeah, those are all made up of Royal Palms players, and then there's an Illinois Shuffleboard Association made up of Royal Palm Chicago players who are really just trying to advance the sport, promote shuffleboard around the state and around the world, and they're all such incredible players. In fact, the founding members, some of the founding members of the Illinois Shuffleboard Association are producers, are the directors and producers of this broadcast.
Beautiful high 8 by Missy, putting Colleen on the defensive.
On the high 8, nothing to do here but miss.
All you can do is it's clear. Sometimes you might get a roll to the other side.
But if it's that high an 8, it's really not much to do with it except make sure she doesn't get to keep it.
And Missy, I can see why she's part of the NYSA, because she's one of the nicer players out here.
She's so NYSA.
She's so NYSA.
She is so NYSA.
She just amplifies the NYSA group.
Yeah, she's the nicest.
Bernard, going back to the board, he's been alternating.
Up, Clayton sticks. Nice little poppy shot, but stuck. Bernard's going to go slower, see if he can get a kitchen out of this. Can't. And that is a good
He did stick his 8.
Clayton's just going to try to fling that out. Accidentally sticks.
Clayton, you can see him hang his head. He's disappointed. He doesn't want his disc on the board because he doesn't want to give Bernard either a hide or an opportunity to catch it.
I don't know if you noticed, he shook his disc. He shook his tang. Like, I don't know if it's like, you're in trouble, mister. But he gave his tang a little shake, like maybe just trying to shake off the nerves. Oh, Bernard is almost.
He tried to use it to get down to that deep 7 and just went a little too far.
Now, is Clayton going to clear his own? What do you think happens here?
I think Clayton's going to bump. The bump is effective because.
He's got the stop. Oh, wow.
The bump is so effective because that instantly gives you a hide with your disc.
Yep. Gives Bernard a risky shot to take because he could knock himself into the kitchen there. He's going to try to take it anyway. Does he bump into it? Oh. No score.
That was a very good shot, though.
Yeah.
Because not only did he clear Clayton's disc,
but he also got his out of the way, out of the line of fire.
Did not end up in the kitchen.
He didn't keep a pigeon on the fence, as they say.
Yeah. From the yellow side, we saw Clayton never miss a hammer.
Yeah.
From the right side, he came up a little short.
Still got to adjust a little bit.
Bernard has to say, hey, I've got a little bit of an opening. I'm behind.
Yep.
But I have an opening.
And the question is, can he capitalize on it? And he's a good enough player. As we said, this is his 7th ISA tournament. He knows what to do. Just got to do it.
I remember in Canada, in Dieppe, he was only 19, I believe, at the time.
Wow.
Came in 3rd in the World Championships.
Yeah, got the silver, or the bronze. No, I think he said the silver. Oh, no, maybe it was the bronze.
Yeah, he got the 3rd place.
3rd place.
That was an exciting year for Shuffleboard because playing in the finals was Torben Husman from Germany, who at the time I believe was 16.
Right, it was just the youngsters.
We had 2 of the youngest players in the top 4.
I just realized that you call a medal like gold, silver, and bronze, but you spell it with a D instead of like medal, or an A and a D instead of a medal. I think that whoever did that just spelled something wrong there. Do you think it's supposed to be a medal that you're getting?
I think because over the years they were actually gold, silver. They were made out of
right, but do you think that they meant to call them medals?
We'll probably have to go back a lot of years and ask the person who started it.
I'm gonna start calling. I think it's incorrect nomenclature.
Well, if anybody would know proper nomenclature, it would be Ashley Albert.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me, Jim.
I'm not sure what nomenclature is, let alone to know a good one or a bad one.
Okay, Missy, gonna take that high, gonna knock it out. Knock it out.
Is there a no womenclature?
I think Bob Marley sang that song. No womenclature, no cry.
Let's get back to the shuffleboard.
Maybe for the best.
These 2 have just been playing the clear game, high 8. Last time we've seen Missy with a beautiful high 8.
Yep, Colette returned the favor here. She said, do something with this.
Will she try to roll it?
Will she try to tap it out and go down the other side?
Or maybe kitchen it?
Well, let's see.
She's going for the roll.
Didn't get it. And Colette effectively stole Missy's hammer. She's got a couple to spare, but not that many. You don't want to do that more than a couple times in a game.
Missy retains the 24-18 advantage.
Not that far off, though. I mean, that's
one disc.
Yeah, that's
one disc.
And that's what they call a risky biscuit, because you do not want. You need a bigger score than that to feel comfortable. It can turn around at any moment. And that's why Clayton is clearing.
Bernard has the hammer. In the back of his mind, he's thinking, I'm 21 points down. I've got to score one disc on my hammer.
Yeah. And here he is. Kitchen bait, a little kitchen bait here. And Clayton doesn't take it.
Nope, Clayton is.
Bernard's going to try to go a little higher this time. Hoping for a mistake, hoping for a miss. And a stick, if he can get one.
Clayton going for the kitchen.
Oh, doesn't get there, but
And
leave something for Bernard to work with.
Bernard has to come away with 8. The kitchen would be a bonus, but he has to come away with 8.
And you see the wind is really,
He gets neither.
neither, yeah.
They're looking hard at the yellow. There's a chance that's.
Oh.
There's a chance
they're
that
going
is a
in.
good.
We've talked about this before. When you're checking to see if a disc is good, you always go over the top of the disc to see, because it's beveled, which we learned yesterday has nothing to do with the performance of the disc and everything to do with the convenience of the disc maker.
Now, she called it good.
She did. Okay.
Right. Now, Clayton has the opportunity to ask for a second call, which he has done, and he should call.
And Missy's looking, and she's looking around from a couple angles, because if you can see any green at all,
and
just a
sometimes
splinter of green, it's in.
Sometimes in St. Pete, the sun and the shadows make it a little hard.
She's really looking. They may have to have a third call here, and that would be calling out one of the tournament directors. Oh, she's calling it.
Now, since they both call it good, that
Then
just
it sticks. It stays.
If she would say, if she would disagree,
then
the tournament director would come.
At the Royal Palms, we use a magnifying glass, and sometimes a camera light, just to get in there real good.
And it's interesting because the FSA rules, I know in the past, said no.
No magnifying glasses.
Right.
Really?
And I always said, what about can I use glasses? My glasses are magnifying glasses.
It's a good point.
And they said, of course you can use your glasses.
I always said that, the reason that we haven't thus far been able to get shuffleboard into the Olympics is because all of our best players are on daily performance-enhancing drugs.
Absolutely, to keep them alive.
Just to keep them alive.
Yes, right.
And then the new round of players, they're just a bunch of ruffians, hoodlums, the whole lot of them. Who knows what they've got in their system.
I've been having my dog Kingston with me most of the week. And as he goes around to groups of people, I've been telling them he's a dog sniffing for drugs.
But he's just looking for beta blockers.
And we have had a lot of lisinopril.
What is that?
Cialis. And Viagra.
Oh, well, it's we are here on vacation. It's what happens
3
in
drugs
St.
that
Pete.
are not only allowed,
encouraged.
They're encouraged in shuffleboard.
Encouraged,
yes,
sure.
they're encouraged.
That disc is touching the lag line, so it stays on. It doesn't get pulled off. But Colette's gonna get rid of it because it's just blocking her line of sight.
And I like what Clayton did. At first he thought it definitely touched the line, but then he got up and took a better look.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure.
Oh, and Missy is going to play that exact same play again. She's really just trying to block the board, not let Colette do anything sneaky.
Interesting shot from Missy. She's been very effective with that high 8 on this type of a shot.
This time, she didn't get there. She's blocking the board.
They always say if you're going to miss it short to block.
Yeah. So, yeah, give her less options for scoring this hammer. I mentioned Missy's husband, Jeff. He's playing 2 courts down from this court right now. I don't know what the score is, but.
With Colette scoring an 8, will give her a 2-point lead.
Wow.
So she has come
that was
back.
Beautiful, beautiful hammer too.
Hey, let's do a shout out to a producer, Kenneth J. Buckwalter.
The second.
The second.
Just a very dignified name, Kenneth.
We saw Canada last night at the Carnival on the courts. Wasn't that fun?
That was so much fun.
Oh, St.
They
Pete
set
Shuffleboard
up
Club. Oh.
the courts like miniature golf courts. They had all these different challenges. I was better at that than I am at actual straight shuffleboard. That might be my game. I play Carnival.
Well, people just loved those games.
Yeah.
And we caught Dieter Hoosman staying late to watch his match from yesterday on the YouTube.
That's right. But this broadcast, they projected it. Oh, and I won a prize. Oh, I won a prize. I didn't know. Oh, that's a good prize too.
Now there's a rare miss.
I know what it was.
Clayton just Ronstadted that yellow, and Bernard is going to take advantage of it by putting up a beautiful block. We talked about it earlier, Bernard being, he was 21 points, now he's 13 points down.
Clayton missed.
Clayton has 2 straight misses.
Wow. Gotta shake it up. Shake it up, shake it out.
Look
Taylor
at the
Swift
opportunity that Bernard has here.
Yep, to do a little, to get some 3 points. You can get 3 on this.
Now the rule of thumb is when you're trying for a double, always get 1. Don't get greedy.
Uh-huh.
Now he actually chose to block that
and
7.
Protect the 7.
Which is not a bad move.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna lose what I got.
Right.
And where does Clayton go here? Does Clayton just try to minimize the damage, keep up with him, and
I would
take
think
an
on
8?
score the 8 on the right. Last time with his hammer on this side, he came up
missed
a
it.
little short.
So it's a chance to have some muscle memory and even out the score.
He went a little further.
On the
hit
line.
the line. So Bernard is playing
Inching back up.
strategy and
He
inching
is-
his way
he's
back into
inching
this
his way
match.
up.
We
And-
have both matches now within a disc.
And interestingly, Bernard's doing that on the yellow discs, which we haven't seen.
There are rumors flying that you won a prize
I
from the
know.
carnival.
I did not know till just now. This was live on air information.
Breaking,
Dun, dun, dun,
breaking
dun.
news.
Well, you got, when you did those carnival things, you won tickets for the carnival things. And as I said, carnival's my game. I have like one game I play at casinos. What do you play when you're at a casino?
Blackjack.
Blackjack. I can't. It's too fast. I play Pai Gow poker.
I think
Familiar
Zach played
with
it
Pai-
well.
Have you ever played Pai Gow poker? There's always a secret dumpling bar.
Oh.
That's one of the reasons I play. But now I can say I also play Carnival Shuffleboard.
Missy changing strategies there a little bit.
She's getting on the board.
Getting on the board, yeah. Clear the disc, but still went on the board.
She's trying to widen her lead here. Or I don't think she has a lead. Colette's in the lead now. She's trying to get.
Colette took a.
Trading discs.
Missy's
Missy's going to try to take this and do something substantial with it, I think.
Missy's down by 2. Still
So
a lot of frames left.
She'd like to do some damage if she can.
She's trying for the kitchen.
Yeah, let's see if she can get there. A little fast. A little fast. But that 8 is good. Colette might try the same. It's coming from a different angle.
I like where Colette is because she's got about 8 inches there. If she knocks out sticks, that's a good high 8.
Yeah. She's going pretty hard. She's not going for a catch.
Ooh.
Oh, misses.
Now Missy has some real. I'd love to hear her thought process because there's like 4 or 5 options that Missy can do right now.
Okay, let's talk through what they are, Jim. Tell me.
Well, the first would be to block this effective 8.
Yep, just keep it, save it, do what you can.
You can try to score on the other side.
Make her choose.
Colette's only got 1 disc left.
Yep. Or that's all 5.
That's, yeah.
Those are all 5
5.
options. Those 2 are
Well,
all 5
and there's
options.
the 3 that I haven't thought of that she's working on. Now she chose.
She chose that. She didn't get there. But she did leave something for herself for later. Colette's got to decide.
And actually, that's a brilliant shot.
She can
And I
double
didn't
it
think of
later.
that option. Right. If Colette knocks the 8 out,
She's
set
chance
up
to
for a double.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah, Colette knows
that
that
was
this
one of
is
the 3
she's
that I
a little
knew were there.
befuddled. You knew it.
I knew were there.
That was the other 3.
I just didn't know what they were.
Yeah, Colette looks a little bit like she doesn't know. She's trying to figure out what the right move is too. She's going to get rid of the double and try to stick.
She's going to try to
And
kitchen.
Does she get there?
I think she pulled it off. All 3 discs
Wow.
are good.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's
what
why
a shot.
Colette is playing in this round.
Yep. And now Missy's going to try to do what they call a swapperoo.
She wants to definitely take the 8 out, the black 8.
And try to get that 8 to get her kitchen out.
She wants to try to stick her yellow.
Yep, or at least stick her yellow, right.
And if,
The
as a
miracle
bonus,
shot.
would be to get the yellow out.
Okay, let's see if she can do it. I know she can stick the black. She gets there. Missy. All right. She got to stick. She kept her kitchen, but she almost made that shot.
She still gets 6 points
Yep.
on her hammer. She has 2
Which is
8s for
fine.
16, a kitchen minus 10. She still gets 6 points.
Yep. Which, you know, as we said, it's a good thing.
It does give her a 4-point lead with 4 frames to go.
Which
so
she needed. She needed to get back on top.
Everybody on the, Missy and Colette both have 2 hammers.
Uh-huh.
If you both have 2 hammers and you have a 4-point lead,
You can stick there if you keep the other person from
Yeah.
scoring. That's it. Just hold them back. And that's what we've talked about several times this week. That you just got to clear the board, keep your opponent from scoring their hammer, and score yours.
so
It's a
Missy has
classic
a
game.
4-point lead. It's a
Mhm.
6-point lead here for Clayton, and Bernard has just clawed himself back. And
Not giving Clayton a chance to do much with his discs. Playing it pretty safe.
Right, and hit the fact that he is 6 points down and has the hammer. Bernard knows that if I score my hammer, I'm actually in the lead.
Is that a dead disc? Yeah. Still.
It is not, but it wouldn't
take
matter.
It off.
Wouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
he's gonna
Bernard's
just take it off.
Not going to leave that disc there.
Nope, he's clearing the board, trying to score his hammer. Move up. That's all he needs to do here.
He might be trying to kitchen.
Oh, looks like that's what he's trying to do. Getting fancy, and so far, I mean, cleared at least, and gave himself a potential bump if things go wrong.
I think Clayton's trying to use that as a hide.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Does it? It's
Bernard
nice.
can still see it.
Yep, but he's got to stick. Mhm. And he really wants this last point so that he can move ahead and get a little
really-
bet.
Really good comeback story.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he clipped
Wow,
the block.
clipped his own. That's a heartbreaker. Hate to see that.
Would you call that a Tom Petty?
I would. I would. Oh, yeah. Bernard's got to be feeling crummy about that, especially because that's an example of sort of beating yourself, right? Like you didn't.
Right.
It wasn't. We've seen some games this week where the people didn't lose. It's just that the other person won. But when you make those kind of mistakes, you're just so frustrated with your own performance, and that's worse.
That gives Clayton a 13-point advantage.
Going into.
But still 4 frames to go.
There's time.
You could do that in 1 frame, let alone 4.
Well, I could. For sure.
You could do it in a half a frame.
Well,
I've seen it.
I don't mean to show off. But have you seen me play Carnival?
And you did win a prize.
I did. I didn't win to be clear, I didn't win a prize for playing Carnival. I won a prize in the raffle when I stuck my winning tickets in the bucket. But I didn't know. I just found out, which is exciting for everyone. Because, I'll tell you why it's exciting for everyone, because you know what I won? I won a $50 gift card to the Hollander Hotel, which is where we're all staying. So drinks are on me for like 2 people tonight. I don't know how much drinks are at the Hollander, but
They're very reasonable.
are they? Oh, maybe there's drinks for 3 people, possibly 4. Hey, I'll buy a drink.
I know.
I'll buy a drink tonight, Jim. It's on me.
I know exactly how much 1 beer and 1 wine is.
I missed Martini Mondays $5 martinis I saw.
Okay, Colette's got the hammer.
Okay, Colette is trying to.
She wanted to roll that, and it was quite effective. She would have liked a little more to get behind that. But she does have the hammer on this. She's down by 4.
Missy's not going to let that stay. But she's stuck, giving Colette an opening.
I think Colette will. She has not really tried the kitchen game much. She's played mostly clear.
Yeah. Let's see, is she going to do it this time?
She stays with her strategy just to clear.
Just clear and take it. Giving Missy another chance. And Missy will kitchen if she thinks she's got it. But I don't know what she's going to do here. I mean, that would be the move because Colette's got the hammer, so she's got to give her a couple different reasons to. Oh, okay. Left her with a pretty open board. Colette can certainly land this.
In one respect, it's better to have the disc off. I've always thought it's easier to score when you're knocking a disc out.
Yep, we've talked about that.
Than an open board.
Just having something to aim for. Oh, nice 7 by Colette. Puts her back in the lead.
Back in the lead.
Little flip-flop.
You get the feeling that both ends of the court are coming down to the last disc.
It's looking that way. It's a pretty evenly matched match on both sides, which you've seen a bunch. I mean, everyone here, they're really superlative players. Okay. Can I go on the board here? Or do you think he was trying to give himself a Tampa?
I think he's just going on the board. He knows Clayton's pretty much going to be clearing everything.
Yeah.
So he may want to even get a little deeper so that if Clayton does stick, it's an easier kitchen.
And we've talked about this before. Like, focus is so important in shuffleboard. Like, every single shot needs to be deliberate. You really got to know what your plan is as you're doing it. At least what you're doing, what they're doing, and what you might do next. At least those 3 shots ahead.
And Bernard is taking a little deeper approach. He wants Clayton to stick on one of these clears.
Yep, which he does.
And now he has the option to either score, try to kitchen, or
he's got to leave. He's going to leave something nasty for Clayton to grapple with. Is the plan? He's going to go for a kitchen and a roll. Got one.
He went for the kitchen and the roll, but he got one.
Yep. A kitchen roll. I feel like there's a bread reference in there somewhere. The dinner roll. Oh, that's already like a snowboarding term, I think. Oh. All right. Lost his hammer, but took away Bernard's score.
Bernard likes that result.
Yeah, sure. Doesn't give him anything to work with.
Let's look at how close these matches are. With 3 frames to go, we're at 30 to 33. Colette has a 3-point advantage.
Wow.
And at the foot,
it's tight.
38 to 51, a 13-point. That's 2 discs.
Yeah, but with both of these, I mean, and with how many frames to play? 3 or 2?
And Bernard has 2 of the 3 hammers.
Right.
So he has to be.
And if he plays those 2 and keeps Clayton from scoring, he will win.
He's a win, yeah.
Missy, even more so here.
It just has the feel of everything's coming down to that last disc.
Which is what you want to see. You know, you want to see a good game. You want to see everybody feeling challenged and trying their best and not giving up on themselves.
And they're making shots like you mentioned. They're not a lot of errors.
Not a lot of errors and not a lot of luck. Like most of these are choices, and I think in shuffleboard that's a big part of it. Now there was a choice that almost really paid off.
Yeah, and when there is an error, the opponents are good enough to take advantage of it.
Right. Missy's just going to take that out. Sticks. I don't think she meant to. And so let's see if Colette can take advantage.
This disc on the very back line
Uh-huh.
is half on and half off.
Right, so you leave it there. Could be a backstop.
You leave it, but see, she's trying to use that as a backstop.
I saw. Missed it, but that would have been bad. That would have been back. Stop. Oh, Missy trying to use it too.
Missy trying to
She
use
said,
it.
"Oh, really? Let me show you." Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed her down there in the audience, but Mary Eldridge, St. Pete legend, and also instrumental in promoting the game of shuffleboard, is here in the audience watching the matches.
If you've ever had an opportunity to A, watch her in a tournament,
Mary?
B, Mary Eldridge, B, listen to one of the lessons that she gives,
Yeah.
you are better off in shuffleboard for either of those two adventures.
Yep, I have taken a lesson with her for sure.
Missy is not going to come up short on her hammer.
Nope, and she's just taken the lead now by 5 points? 4 points. Is that right?
And we're starting to see what we have been talking about all week, how important your hammer is.
Mm-hmm.
They are going back and forth with their hammer, and the lead is going back and forth.
Yeah. It's like a tool cooperative. They're trading
Just
hammers.
like that.
That's a real California reference right there, a tool cooperative.
Bernard, because he feels good about having two of the hammers, is clearing the blocks at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Now, that could be turn out to
that.
be disastrous.
Oh.
Now, once again, Clayton can block.
Yeah.
A lot of pros say score on the left.
He's just
so
gonna
that
block,
you
right,
eliminate
give him a choice.
Eliminate the reverse.
Yep, yep. And it's pretty tough. He's got him locked in there. We've talked about kitchen blinders before.
Bernard has to
Can't
clear.
see it.
He has to at least clear the block.
Right, because he's got the hammer, so he can get to that the next time.
Unless he feels there's an opening on the right.
And I think he's trying to just get to it, which may be inadvisable. Let's see. Yeah. But he got rid of the block.
It's what he has to do.
Right. It wasn't what he meant to do, I don't think, but it.
Clayton will try to put a block up because maybe Clayton goes too long.
Yep. And
maybe
knocks
goes
him
too
out.
short. Maybe the drift catches
And you
it.
think that's the case versus scoring at this point? Just gonna do. Yep. Nice block. Good line there. Okay, Bernard. What does he do here? Does he just try to minimize the damage? Scored 8.
Well, if you
Can't
score
get
the
through it if
8,
you can get to that.
you're still 13 points. No, you're 23 points down. No,
Right, but
you'd be 15 points down.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's so risky to walk away with nothing.
If you score the 10,
Right.
then he at least is equal.
Yeah.
And
okay.
still stays
And,
13.
Right. It just doesn't add or
I guess my
detract
point
from his
was-
score. Got it. So I think that's what he's going for now. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do.
I think the 8 or the 7 is
Better than nothing.
a better advantage.
Right, because it's a bigger
It's a
surface
bigger
area.
surface area to
you got a better
score.
shot. Yeah, that's what I was just. Oh no! Oh!
He went for the kitchen,
Interesting.
hoping to knock his own out.
And came
But-
up short. Now that's right. Like that's sort of what's that saying? Like the fastest distance is the straightest line. The shortest distance is the straightest line. Like
Right.
sometimes you gotta just take the clear shot and not the complicated shot. He went for the complicated shot and it just didn't pay off for him in a way that like a boring hole 8 would have at least given him just a -2 on that frame instead of a -10.
So Bernard, who had crawled back from a pretty difficult disadvantage, shoots himself in the foot, putting himself in the kitchen. Clayton
And burnt the meatloaf.
burnt the meatloaf.
Okay. Missy, just still playing classic her classically trained game here. Ooh, Colette trying to go down Suicide Alley. Does she get
And
there?
she kitchens herself.
Oh, and blocked by Missy now in a way that is going to be.
Well, Missy knows that she can obviously get down that alley.
Yep.
So she's going to block that alley. There's only one shot she has.
Right. And she's going to probably try to do it pretty high because she doesn't want to go. She wants it to be effective, and she doesn't want to hit her other disc, and she does it.
You can't play that any better.
No, that was just flawless.
Colette
Flawless.
probably will try to take that block out and maybe have that
bump it.
block try to reverse it.
I think so, right?
But it's a low percentage shot.
Right, that's what we were saying before. Like, do you just try to score somewhere else? But she's got enough that she's got the hammer. She's got 3 discs to work with. She might as well try that now. If she's going to try it, now's the time. And is she going to try it? She's going for the other one.
She's going to get. She wanted to get both blocks out of there.
Yeah.
And
Didn't do it. She still she shook things up a little bit.
I think.
But you think Missy continues to block it, or do you think she's just now she's going to take it as a hide? I think so. Yeah.
Missy is going for the jugular.
Ooh.
Look at this. Look at this.
Tight. Wow.
That's somebody who just puts the pedal to the metal.
To the MET medal.
The META
right.
medal. And she just puts
she
the gas.
Did. That's why they don't call her the Golden Widow for nothing.
She steps on the gas and she goes.
Yeah. No Mr. Magoo. I don't know.
Let's see what we got here. Did she
okay, she cleared the way.
No, but Missy
makes Missy
we've seen
block
Missy,
again.
We've seen her defensive game.
Yeah.
And it's rising to the top with this frame.
Yeah. So
She
let's
will
see if
block
she
this
can
side.
Do the exact same shot she did before. Block it. Little close. She can get to it. Colette can get to it. She could get to.
She may
both.
try to use the one in the center.
Yep. Oh, and double.
Try to double.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
and knock out the yellow.
I think, you know what, I didn't even see that
This
opportunity.
is what we call the home run.
Wow, didn't get to do either of those things.
It's a strikeout. It went from a home run try to a strikeout.
Wow, yeah, she really, there was a complicated and doable shot there that she didn't take, and that's a shame. You didn't see it. But Missy pulling ahead a little bit here.
Went from a 5-point advantage to an 18-point advantage.
Yeah.
No, I did that wrong. 22-point advantage. Yeah.
That's what I was going to
So
say.
Missy's now up 22 points.
And Bernard here just trying to stay in it.
He's down 23.
Yeah, can still do it, but it's starting to look a little hazy.
He's totally in kitchen mode.
Yep, he's just going to try to get him to stick. Hope he makes a mistake and hopes he can capitalize on it, because that's his chance.
I understand Clayton is undefeated in play this week.
Yep. And it's his second ISA ever. But he plays in a league here, and super, super nice guy. But I could tell when I was asking about whether or not he was good that even he knew he was a good player. Even he was like, well, yeah, I've been known to make a shot here or there.
If you're undefeated by Wednesday, you're a good player.
You're a pretty good player. We have a couple still.
There's 4 men in this group. Clayton and Bernard, and there's 2 others. Paul
Assad from Royal Palms, New York, who is a great player in his own right.
Garrett Dykeman plays out of Canada.
Also a good player. But Paul is actually a really fantastic, one of our better players at the Palms.
Only one of those 4 will move on.
Wow, that's high stakes.
But if Bernard loses his match,
that's the end of it.
No.
He's just got to beat the other 2.
If he, because it'll be a round robin. If he would run the table and go 3-1, he still has the opportunity.
Right, but if Clayton does the same, then Clayton wins,
yeah,
because he beat Bernard.
That's correct.
Right, but if Bernard beats someone that beat Clayton, he's in business.
Bernard at this point would need 2 people to beat Clayton.
Right, both of those he would have to have broken his streak.
Missy's going to be a very defensive player. We've seen her. We know that she is confident with the lead.
Now, Missy is one of 2 that will move on in her group.
Right. The ladies have 2 groups of 6.
Yeah.
Whereas the men have 4 groups of 4 left.
And she's got Colette here. See how that goes. She's got Judy Cross, Tyne Seabold, who is a great player and currently undefeated, Linda Rittencutter, who I've never seen play, and Ali Enos, who's a long-time player, really, really good.
Nice kitchen play there by Colette, which is going to make this a little more interesting.
Oh, misses it, but gets a point.
And gives her an opportunity, another disc to possibly kitchen.
Yeah, which is
she can
do it.
22 points can be made up in one frame. We've seen it.
Colette's a founding member of the Greater Edmonton Shuffleboard Association in Canada. And then she plays out of Yuma, Arizona in the winter. Okay, that's interesting. Blocked that disc so she couldn't do anything with it. What does Missy do? Just run up the score over here? She's got
do
the
like
hammer.
what Missy did. She turned around and she's checking the scoreboard.
Uh-huh.
And the real problem is you call that
The silent captain. You got to trust your silent captain. She looked at the scoreboard to see, what do I have to do here? How many points do I have? How many points do I have to keep? How many frames are there? There's so much information you can get from that silent captain. And oh
my gosh,
Missy,
she cleared the 10.
Keiko, wow.
And the crowd shows their appreciation.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Great shot. And takes a ton of confidence to say, oh, I can get that.
Yes.
She knows her game. She knows her ability.
She could see half the disc. And you think about that. Half the disc means you can see 3 inches of the disc.
Yep.
39 feet away.
Right.
And you have that much confidence that, I got that.
Yeah, I got it. All right, now, a little soft there, but I think she can just sort of take it and then, wow. Missy dropping the cherry on her last frame to win the game. The Golden Widow strikes again.
And she earned it.
And she earned it.
Earned it with great play.
Yeah, that was a great example of her winning that match versus the other person beating themselves.
Bernard has the hammer, but he's down 23. So Clayton,
pushing off.
He's just not going to let a disc on the board.
Yeah, he is not going to give Bernard much opportunity to mess with it. Again, if you know your score, you know how much you've got to keep. At a certain point, if there aren't enough discs on the board to make up that score, then you're in business. Oh, he's stuck there. That's risky. Didn't mean to do that. Just wanted to clear.
Bernard is thinking kitchen, kitchen, kitchen with every shot.
Again, after this, we're in this whole new round robin now. And it's, no good. And now it's back to anyone's game. The top players are in a top bracket. There's a middle section fighting for the middle slots and a lower section fighting for what I call the friendship round.
And when Bernard goes back to Brazil, regardless of what his score is, he has a 2-year-old baby to look forward to seeing again.
Yeah. Okay, trying the same shot again. Doesn't get there. Bernard has the hammer, but now Clayton says, okay, how many
Clayton
points?
can throw this away. There's no
Yep,
path
but
to
she's going
victory.
to, and that's just good sportsmanship in some ways, because he's saying, go ahead and finish strong. Nice game for both of them, and they still have played both of. It's still anybody's game. Those two.
They are not adequate.
Not adequate.
Clayton
Only
has
one
an
will move
easier
ahead.
path.
But yeah, Clayton's already got a notch in his belt on that. Wow. So this is again another tight match. That's what we want to see. That's what these players are representing, the best of their countries and their best personal games.
And you love to see after it's over, you love to see how they shake hands, hug each other.
Yeah. I don't think we talked about it on this broadcast, but we have talked about Myrna Bilton, our president, who starts every ISA tournament with a song that goes, how does it start? Oh, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. How's it go?
Your friends are my friends.
And my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. It's a good song. We'll leave you with that. We'll see you tomorrow. More Shuffleboard. Our last, we're moving into the final days here to get our new champions from the ISA and the St. Pete Shuffleboard Club. We're signing off. Keep shuffling. I'm here with Clayton Taylor. Clayton, last time we spoke, moments ago, I asked you if you were a good player. You were like, I've been known to hit a shot. How are you feeling about your performance today?
Well, I'm very happy that I won, of course. Could I have done a few things better? Maybe I just could have tightened it up a little bit, but I'm still very pleased with the outcome, of course.
How much do you think having a home court advantage helped your game today?
Well, on these courts specifically, they were resurfaced right before the tournament, so I didn't really know them very well. I mean, yeah, there's still a little bit of a home court advantage, of course, but it still felt way different than they did before. So I don't know. It might have canceled it out there.
And, like, nerves-wise, do you feel differently playing here at the ISA? I know it's your second ISA ever versus when you play at the St. Pete Club in your league.
Oh, this is, as far as nerves, this is way more intense. But I don't know. It's just, you just buckle down. I mean, I'm used to the grandstands, though, in, like, the league playoffs. So I'm used to people just staring at the game and watching you and knowing that when you make a mistake, everyone's going, oh, you shouldn't have done that. So
I did that live broadcast to the world, by the way.
I'm sure you said
Ooh, this guy, what is he doing? Okay, well, so you've got a few more matches, and you still have a shot, eyes on the prize for the gold. Do you think you have a chance to win it all?
You know what? Yes, I absolutely have a chance. Anything can happen in Shuffleboard, anything.
Well, I think the way you played today proved that you have what it takes, and I look forward to seeing you at the podium.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Congratulations. I'm here again with Bernard Borges. Bernard, it was a really close game.
Yes, it was. At some point, I was 6 points behind. Just had to score my hammer, and then I tried to took his 7, but the drift and the disc hit the block, and he scored in my hammer. So that was it was a good game. He deserved to win, but yeah, let's try it. Not two more games tomorrow. So let's see.
And that's really what you want to see, these kind of close matches. It was great to see you guys, play and keep up with each other the whole time. You still have a chance to win. What is your strategy moving forward?
Well, now, yeah, I have a chance to at least if our group stay tied, I had a chance. But if he stays invictus, so he's at first in our group. But let's see, just try to win 1 or 2 more games, and let's see what happens.
I think if you win 2 more games, you're in business. So get out there and make it happen.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
I am here with Missy, the Golden Widow, Keiko. Missy, that was a great game. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling ecstatic. I just won another game. Like, I'm undefeated right now. That was an amazing game. It came down to the last 2 frames. It's just like, it was a really crazy game for a shuffler, and I'm feeling great because I pulled out the win.
Yeah, it was really exciting to watch and really not knowing what a strong player you are. It was like, oh my gosh, she's really giving her a run for the money. Was there at any point you thought, oh no, I'm about to lose my streak?
When we kept keeping our hammers, so I didn't let myself get worried because that'll throw you off the game. But, there's that concern at the end, like you're looking at how many hammers are left and you're like, am I going to be able to win this? Yeah. So just that lingering, like I gotta make some points. I got to do something. So.
And how do you think your matches are? You know who you're going up against next. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, so I'm playing Tyne tomorrow, and she's amazing. And we played last year, so it's not a grudge match, but it's like a battle royale, She's an amazing player. And I also play Kathy, and she's fantastic too. So I have two hard ones coming up.
Well, I mean, you know that I am rooting for you, and I'm really making this Golden Widow nickname stick. So stick with it. Stick with Missy Keiko, and we will see more of you, I am sure, soon.
Thank you so much.
I'm here with Colette. Colette, you had her on the ropes. It was so close. How are you feeling now?
I feel good. I feel really good that Missy's a very good player, She's got a lot more experience than I do. And you're right, I gave her a run for her money, and I feel good about it.
Yeah, it was wonderful to watch. It was a really evenly matched game. There were definitely some times when Missy, who is mostly unflappable, was, we were like, could she possibly lose this match? You were playing wonderfully, and it was really fun to watch. Are you having a good time?
I'm having an amazing time, meeting a lot more people, and that's what Shuffle's all about, the camaraderie.
And do you have a strategy moving forward? Do you know who you're playing next?
I know it's not going to be easy, for sure. I mean, we're all in that same category, and you know what? I'm happy where I am, and if I just finish where I am, I'm good.
Well, you played beautifully. It was so fun to watch, and I look forward to seeing more of it.
And thank you, and good luck to Missy and everybody else left in the A's there or wherever we are.
Okay, good luck to you, Colette.
Thanks.
See ya.
Wow, what great games.
Yes.
That Bernard Clayton one, you know, neither one of us wanted to call a winner on it.
I know.
I'm just glad one of them won.
Somebody has to.
Somebody has to. And, you know, I heard somebody say something earlier today. It might have been Ashley in the game. But she said, some of these games, no one loses. Just someone else wins.
Oh.
Which I think is fantastic. Yeah. But let's do this before we break for the night. I want to give everybody an update on the standings and where we are at the end of day 3.
Mm-hmm.
So the women were able to get through 3 games in their second round.
Mm-hmm.
That's that sieve we talked about on Monday.
Right. Or as you say, the cream rising to the top.
That's right. That cream is rising right now. And we've got 2 top pools, Pool G and Pool H. And in women's Pool G, we have Missy Keiko, who we just watched, and Tyne Siebold. They're both undefeated.
So obviously they haven't played each other yet.
Yeah, they haven't played each other yet. So tomorrow they're going to play 2 more games, and you know if they win both of those games, they'll move on to the semifinals. Right. But there's still the potential that the other ladies in their group could potentially move on instead of them. So Kathy Brennan is nipping at their heels. So they have to be really careful with Kathy tomorrow. And then you want to tell us about Pool H?
Sure. At Pool H, Allie Enos has 3 wins so far, but Emily Ellsworth has 2, so not far behind her. And also Irene Hofsmann from Germany also has 2. So it still is anybody's chance to make it to the semifinals.
And I can tell you, just looking at the list of everybody else in that pool, none of them have given up.
No.
They all want to go to the semifinals.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting to see who's going to make it.
Yeah. Now, what about the men?
Now, the men only got through one game in this round so far. So we can show you the standings for them, but I wouldn't even want to speculate on who's going to move forward. It really is anyone's game at this point for the men. No, but before we go, again, I want to talk about the shot of the day.
Okay.
So we're gonna show you guys at home. We're gonna rewind and show you something that you just watched, and then we can chat about it because it's super. It was such a great series of shots.
And we're gonna show you 3 shots, right?
Yeah, 3 shots.
So you can see how this happens, how this develops. Yes.
All right, let's take a look.
Bernard did not have an effective clear there, which gives Clayton an opportunity not only to score, but to get the happy hour 2 for 1.
And will he?
And he does it.
Does. Now Bernard.
He has to be careful. We've been watching this court drift right to left. And he gets, that is a true happy hour. He, with 1 disc, knocks out 2.
Got it. Oh, got it. That's a 2 for 1.
That's a 2
That's
for 1.
a 2 for 1. And
Clayton gets the roll.
And wow, just an accidentally gorgeous hide.
Okay, so just to go over what happened here, Clayton was able to get that split. He got an 8 and a 7.
It was a great split.
Yeah, and then Bernard came in and somehow cleared both of those off while leaving his disc in the 8.
Right. And so then Clayton comes back and clears Bernard's disc and then rolls behind the hide, thereby protecting his disc.
Wow. I mean, let's put the spin factor on that one.
Yeah. So they're all great shots.
But that's the Bacardi shot of the day.
Exactly.
All right, I think that's it for us for today, at least. All right, we're going to sign off, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And you're clear.
Okay.
All right.
Great job. That was take 2.
You feel good with that one?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I like how we're like at the end of the week. We're like, sounds good. Yep,
Sounds
bye.
good.
Thank you.